Hey, what's up, you guys? So, I'm very sorry for putting off this Canary breakdown video. Um, One of the biggest reasons why I put it off is because I know I put out Canary matches and ranked matches and combo videos for her, but I use her more like a secondary character. It's not like my main. So I always felt kind of odd and like weird to make breakdown for her because I'm just like I'm not like a true main for her. I know how to use her. Um, but I figured that would have been like the best reason to even just make it anyways. Because I do know what you should do with her at the very least, even though I may not do it. These are things that you should keep in mind, for yourself. So for Canary, her in a nutshell, she's obviously very offensive. She has high damage. She has mix. She has resets and vortexes. She has a Canary drop and whatnot. And that's primarily what your game plan is going to be, more or less. Because you kind of can alternate with Canary between being offensive and defensive, both in which are actually really intimidating if you know how to play it right. So for her offense is very straightforward. You want to move in, either dash in, flip in, jump in, whatever, land a Canary drop, do a big combo, end it with the scream, and then you're on top of them. And that's how you initiate your offense. And then afterwards you can go for a reset or a vortex and mix them again. And that's her general offensive play. But when it comes to being defensive, it's usually when you have your level 3 trait. Usually it works best when you have this, because all of a sudden, because her level 3 scream goes full screen, people are afraid to start pressing buttons because they don't want to get hit by it. Because you get a full-blown combo. So this lets you turtle, this lets you flip around to build meter. As you can see on the bottom, look at how much meter I'm building just by doing these flips. And this is going to be one of the things that you really want to incorporate, is using your flips for mobility. Because as you can see, her forward walk is not that great. As you can see, her back walk is incredibly slow. So you want to use your flips for mobility. You don't want to commit to them all the time because, they do have recovery, you can get hit out. Like it's not like you're just walking so you can just block immediately. You're committing to the flip, so you got to wait for the recovery to finish before you can block the next attack, or any attack that's coming at you. But that's how you would use her defensively, more or less. And the best time for you to play defensively with her is when you have a life lead. So like, let's say you do this, I messed that up. Whatever. I did that, I ended with that. Okay, so now I have a decent chunk, a decent life lead, right? And let's say this is how much meter I have and the opponent has 4 bars. Let's say they're not Canary, let's say that there's somebody else, right? Depending on the matchup, it determines how freely you can flip around and build your meter. Because one of the things that you really want to keep in mind with her, that you have to pay attention to, is her meter and her trait. Because without either of them, she honestly is not going to accomplish much of anything. Like let's say you have no bar at all, right? But you only have trait. The best thing that you can do is just commit to the trait and then like land a basic combo like that, right? But now let's say you have no meter right now and no trait. What are you supposed to do, honestly? Like let's say you land a back one, right? And then you land a Canary drop. That's the most that you're going to do, and that's if it even hits them. If you land like you're standing one, the best you can do is this. As you can see how little damage that does, and it doesn't really give you much positioning or anything like that. Or it's like, let's say you land your 2-1, right? Your 2-1 string, best thing you can do is that move. And that's it. Or you can do, I think, 2-1 into your front flip, into that. And that's what you're going to do. Without any meter, without any trait. So that's what you want to manage to do the most. And that's what I find to have the most success when using her, and that's how I feel like people should play her, is if you have no meter, don't even try to approach the opponent. Do what you can full screen, evade their stuff. You're gonna take damage, you're gonna take chip, you're gonna get knocked away. That's normal, that's expected. It doesn't mean that you lose, because you do one combo and you take away half of their health, and you have the potential to take away another 50%, depending on the reset that you do on them. So it's like you wanna just like evade their attacks, wait for an opening, get a flip. Like if you're against Aquaman and he does a trident, like from the deep, it guarantees a flip safely. So it's like you're taking chip, sure, and he's building meter a little faster than you are, but you're also building meter at the same exact time, and you're not taking any additional damage that you don't need to take. So it's like wait until you build at least 2 bars. What I find the most success is having either level 2 or level 3 trait, and then having 2 bars of meter. And once you have those 2 requirements met, that's when you want to start like easing your way in and moving in. And her, just like every other character in the game, their game gets incredibly more dangerous once they have you in the corner. So it's like, you know, like let's say you're walking them down, you know, you're over here, you know, you want to walk them slowly, you want to be patient, you want to be careful. Just because you don't want to have to do all that work and then get knocked back and then try to work your way in, like if it's a character like Deathshot, you know, for example. And that's generally how you want to approach her play, like that's how you want to make things happen. And then now when it comes to like her resets and her combos and BMBs and all that stuff, most of her things that she has, you can hit confirm. Like 1-1-2, you can hit confirm into the knee. 2-1, you can see it coming out, you can hit confirm. Forward 1-3, you can also hit confirm. And those are like your main things that you can hit confirm and then get a full-blown combo for it. So she has a general formula as to what gives her the most optimal damage and the best results for like resets and whatnot. So anything that you can do in meter burn knee, you want to end it in the neutral jump 2, which would be like the, you know, just like the kick. And then from there, it depends on where you are on the screen, where you want to take them, either in the corner, you want to push them further, you want to swap sides. But after you do this, best thing that you can do is either do back 1 into the Canary drop, meter burn it, and then, you know, you do your combo from there. Or you do standing 3 into the Canary drop as you see it connects, and then you continue your combo from there. Or you can do 1-1 into the close Canary drop. If you do the normal one, after 1-1 it's going to miss, as you can see. So these are things that you want to keep in mind. So 1-1 into the close Canary drop, it connects. Standing 3 into regular Canary drop connects, and back 1 into the regular drop connects. So that's what you got to keep in mind whenever you start landing combos. And this is also what I keep in mind when it comes to punishes. Like let's say a move is like -10 and you start punishing with 1-1. Instead of spending like all this extra bar, so like do all of this and then you get that going and then you get the Canary drop, you can conserve your meter and just do 1-1 into the close Canary drop and then land your combo that way. And then keep it going. And you're still doing a huge chunk of damage, but you're saving bar as well. So then after that, after you do the Canary drop, back 3, whatever, you have the option between either doing like 3-3 into the Canary cry, which does a good chunk of damage, or you can do advance forward a little bit, 1-1-2, and that's your optimal damage. You do 1-1-2 into the scream, and then you flip forward. And the reason why you want to end in scream is because it restands them. Like you can initiate combos with the scream and then get a full-blown combo for it, and you can still carry them to the corner, you can do all this damage, sure, you can end in a hard knockdown, but a hard knockdown means that they can wake up. The benefit of having a restand is that you eliminate them waking up altogether, and you have all these plus frames to still keep on pressing buttons before they can. So I'll show you like an example. Oh, that missed. So the female hitboxes, you actually want to be careful with those because sometimes stuff like that happens. So as you can see, I just did all that damage and she's still standing. And I'm still plus. And I still have like cancel advantage. So I can still go into something else after doing this. Like I can flip forward, I can try to reset it, you know, like with another drop. And that's primarily why you want to end it with your scream. Instead of doing, you know, scream mid combo and then, you know, juggling them, continue to juggle them, and then you lose that restand. So that's more or less how her formula, quote-unquote formula, for her combos will work. Or that's how you get the most damage, the most mileage out of her damage and her resets. So now when it comes to, like, let's say you reset them mid-screen, right? Like you're on top of them, whatever. You get the restand, and then you can go for pressure. 2-1 is like one of your go-tos into the Canary drop, because like, as you can see, it crosses up. But then if you do the close one, it doesn't cross them up. And if they have a habit of like walking back and they're trying to shimmy, this will catch them out. Forward 1-3 is another commonly used one. None of these are guaranteed because the opponent can backdash, but it does add a really good mind game because if they try to backdash, you can do your flip and then they can just like flip right, or they can backdash right into you. And then you can either start hitting them while they are in recovery, or you can grab them out, and things of that nature. So, you know, you have like that forward 1-3, you can do the close one, you can do the far one, or the normal one. You can do standing 3, but this connects, remember. So, you want to be careful with what you reset them with when it comes to mid-screen. Like, you don't want to do 3 into the Canary drop because, like, even though it connects, it still connects as a combo, and then you lose all reset potential. So you can do forward 1 also, it's another tricky one. But as you can see, it will catch them if they're walking backwards, but if they're not walking backwards, it's going to miss and you can get punished for it. So that's why you want to take all these things into account. Like either do 2-1 into the Canary drop. These are my opinions, by the way. This is what I find works the most. You don't have to stick by these. So you can do 2-1, you can do forward 1 into that, you can do forward 1-3, and 1-1-2 also works. 1-1-2 is also in that same category, like with the forward 1, where it's like if they have a habit of walking back, in which this is where you have to apply like your player knowledge, like depending on the tactics that your opponent has and their tendencies. This is when you would use those moves because it makes it incredibly ambiguous for them to know where to go, you know, either forward or back. And those are the primary ones that you want to use when it comes to resetting to mid-screen. Or like I was saying before, you can do a flip, and then depending on where they are, depending on their habits and what they're doing, you can either punish them, like if they're trying to press buttons or if they're backdashing. If they're unsure as to what's going on, you know, you can flip, and then they're moving backwards, you can catch them with the low and then reset them again. This next one, this is what gets a lot of people because it's like really, really ambiguous. You can do the 2, delay it, and then go into your Canary drop. Because as you can see, it doesn't connect. It doesn't connect as a combo. But you have to do the close one. So it's like with this, you can delay it, and you can cancel into any move afterwards. Any special. And you can backdash too, I think. Oh no, you can't. And these are the primary things that you want to do mid-screen. But as you can imagine, like I was saying before, they're not guaranteed because it's mid-screen. They can always backdash, they can move away, they can armor, they can do stuff like that. They can press buttons. And that's mainly why you want to push into the corner. Because when you have them cornered, everything is now guaranteed. Where's this crap? And this is more or less the formula for the corner. As you can see, it crosses up if I do the far one. It also crosses up if I do the close one. What was the other one? If I do forward 1, the close one, it still crosses up. If I do the normal one, it still crosses up. 2-1 in the corner actually connects. This connects with everybody, so don't use 2-1 in the corner into the Canary drop unless you're actually going for a full-blown combo. But you can do like 2-3. See, it crosses up on a normal one, and it crosses up on a close one. The reason why I'm showing you guys all this is because if the opponent has knowledge in a Canary matchup, then they know to just hold forward every single time they see you do a Canary drop because it hits in the same exact side no matter what you do every single time. And the exception for this is when you end in 1-1-2. I'm doing the normal drop, as you can see it crosses up, or I can choose the close one in which it no longer does cross up. So it creates an actual true 50-50 for them. And it doesn't connect as a combo. So unless you're doing this, you know, and you're playing against somebody that, you know, like has like no knowledge of the matchup, then yeah, everything else works. Sure, it's gimmicky. But that's why you want to stick to using this ender so that you can actually decide, you know, what side is going to cross up on. Because if they have a habit of blocking the cross up like over here, then this allows you to switch it up and hit them on the other side. You know, and confuse them. So yeah, that's basically why you just want to push them into the corner. And then when it comes to doing corner combos and then keeping them in the corner, if you land a Canary drop, what I do is I do back 3, I flip forward, I usually do this combo, and it resets them right back into the same exact situation. So you can do something like that, or you can meter burn your knee. Do this, and reset them that way. But as you can see, it does a lot less damage. That's why you want to do the other combo that I just did, the first one, because you get so much more mileage out of it. And you build a little meter, and you're still keeping them in the same exact side. Like when you do the Canary drop, even though they're outward, it doesn't mean that they're forced back into mid-screen. You can actually switch sides and keep them pushing them forward. Or like let's say you're over here, right, and you somehow land a Canary drop. You can do the same thing even from this distance. Like if you don't want to keep on pushing them mid-screen. Okay, so I'm missing my flip, so I'm just going to dash forward just to make it simple. And you can still do the same exact thing, and it keeps them back into the corner. And that's pretty much how you want to do your combos. So you would apply the same thing like what I was showing you mid-screen. Like let's say you get like hit confirm into the meter burn knee. You can commit into the Canary drop, flip, do your string, go into the scream, and then reset them that way. And then get another combo for it, like if you decide to go into the Canary drop. And for some weird reason, it actually becomes safe. Canary drop on block is actually punishable, it's like -12. But when you do it off of the restand, I think it's because they're still standing, because of the plus frames that she has, it becomes safe. You're still negative, but it becomes safe. Like 8-frame reversals can't punish it. So that's another benefit for using it, because like let's say they block right, you're not and there's that. And then when you're in the corner, it opens up the potential to end your combos in the flip, in which you can either just flip forward and then grab them, you know, or you can flip and then start more pressure. You can flip into the low, or you can flip into the overhead. So then when you have all these options and you start throwing all these options at your opponent, it starts confusing them that much more. It's like, oh my god, I have to guess all these damn options, you know? It's like I have to guess all this mix, you know? And then when you start switching it up between all of these, it lets them get opened up to stuff like this. Because she isn't plus when she does the flip into that. I don't think that she's plus, I think she's neutral at best. So they're able to start pressing buttons at the same exact time. But it's like when you condition them, it's like, yeah, I'm flipping into something else, and they start respecting, they start scouting what the next move is going to be. So that's what lets you start pressure again, because they're respecting everything. And that's a big part of her play. A lot of it is conditioning, like with the resets. So like let's say for example, you know, I managed to hit them, I get this combo going. Oh, I messed that up. Okay, so let's say I just land this, right? I just want to show you what you can do with like 3 bars. If I can even land this, jeez. As you can see, like she just took away almost her entire health bar, and I built a second bar, or I built an additional bar on top of it in the process, and I got back to level 2 trait. So that's the benefit of resetting them, because it kills a lot of time, so your trait builds back up, and by all that damage and all those specials that you're doing, like between the flips and whatnot and the kicks, like the soaring knee, it builds you that meter back that you spent. I think I actually could have burned bar. Let me see. Let me test this really quick. I messed that up. I did the wrong ender. But like, let's say I land this, I hit them. Wow. I'm just gonna try one more time. If I don't land this, then I'm just gonna go on to the next part. Yeah, as you can see, I was able to build a bar in the middle of the reset and still continue the combo afterwards to do all of that additional damage. So that's what I mean. It's like, even if you're down a good chunk of health, all you need to do is literally touch them one time, put them in a reset, make them guess wrong, and basically take away their entire health bar, as you saw right there. Like, you burn up your resources, yeah, But by the time that you finish all of that, you do get back into level 2 trait in the middle, you know, all the way almost up until level 3 trait. So you still have this threat, and then you can use this to just chip them out, you know. Or like, let's say, you know, you manage to kill them, they're in the corner, they have all that bar. You should make them afraid because, you know, you have your level 3 trait. So it's like anything that they try to do, they try to jump out, you can just scream a reaction and then finish, you know, with a combo. So yeah, that's primarily what you want to do. And it doesn't really matter what ender you use, not what ender, what starter you do. Like when it comes to the corner combos, if you don't have level 3 trait, try to end in 3-3 as much as you can because it's a hard knockdown. And then obviously if you have level 3 trait, then use that. Even if you have like the meter burn flip kick, you can do that. Let me see if I can mount this. As you can see, then it resets them all the way back up. Like to that 1-1-2 stagger, and then you can have all those mixed options again. Obviously with the low one, it just ends it, you know, with a knockdown, but yeah. And that's more or less like her game plan in a nutshell. Like that's really what you want to do. You want to keep them in a corner, you want to keep them there as much as you can. If the matchup allows you, like let's say it's somebody like Wonder Woman, if it's somebody like Robin, these are the matchups where you want to hoard your meter. You want to build up as much of it as you can before any kind of confrontation. Like even if you're down on health, still just try to build meter. If you're up in health, even more reason to build your meter because you're forcing them to come to you. Because if the timer runs out, then you win the match anyways. You know? But yeah, that's like her gameplay in a nutshell. And that's how like her resets work. You do have more ambiguous stuff where it's like you can end in 3-3 and then you have like her jump 3. You have like these really weird cross-up stuff that you can do, which also works if you can do these. Where you can end combos in like forward 2 to get that knockdown going also. But these are more matchup specific. Like these are all like really specific depending on the wake up and what the opponent has, like what they can do. Or if they're near an interactable, they can meter burn the interactable to actually beat up these setups. So that's why I'm not really covering it. I don't really use them that much. I don't really know like what applies to who 100%. I just know that it doesn't work for everybody. So that's why I personally don't go for it. But yeah, that's basically summing up this part. So I mean, I hope that it was of use, and take care.